Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome back to the recap and breakdown. We are a little bit late. It is a little bit hot. It is 43 degrees outside, 109 if you are in America. And we are now taking a look at UFC Fight Night, Jamahall versus Khalil Rountree Jr., which just took place this past weekend on Saturday the 21st, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be going through the entire card, starting with the prelim, ending with the main event, and we're going to get right into it. Yes, I do not have a shirt on. Yes, I am exhausted. Yes, it is literally 38 degrees in my apartment. I am going to die, and I think I may pass away tonight. Fantastic. Here we go. Let's get right into it. We're going to start off with the early prelim opener, which was Muhammad Usman versus Hamdi Abdelwahab. Now listen, I had Hamdi Abdelwahab. I thought Hamdi was going to do it. I had a lot of faith in Hamdi. Hamdi fought like shit. Muhammad Usman looked like absolute shit. I thought Hamdi Abdelwahab maybe won the first two rounds. Granted, you could give Muhammad Usman the second round due to damage. Hamdi Abdelwahab was just kind of walking into some nice shots. Muhammad Usman was moving, looked absolutely terrible when he was moving, but it is what it is. There isn't a whole lot you can say about it. You can't hate on a Muhammad Usman victory, seeing as Hamdi Abdelwahab robbed Jamal Pogues last time around completely. Pretty sure everyone gave Usman rounds 2 and 3. I don't think it was close at all for most people, which I agree with. Usman probably won the second round, did a little bit more damage. Hamdi was falling off very quickly, didn't have the cardio to keep up, did not look himself, and he was lacking 6 inches of reach. It was very clear that realistically Muhammad Usman could have utilized his jab, probably could have kept Hamdi Abdelwahab off of him, and Hamdi Abdelwahab is a very, very good wrestler. I believe he was an Olympic wrestler if I'm not mistaken, and chose not to shoot one fucking takedown. I don't know what it is with guys who have very specific credentials when it comes to the UFC. We always say we like to see guys who are not one-dimensional, and I would love to see a guy who is literally a wrestler stop choosing to fucking have a kickboxing match, because this is not what this is. This is very clearly an MMA match. You will lose every time if you choose to strike with these guys, because you just do not have... You are a fat fucking blob. Okay? Realistically, these guys are blobs. Both of these guys are cans. Both of these guys are terrible. And Hamdi Abdelwahab is a fucking blob. This dude has no cardio. This dude has no physique. This guy looks absolutely shit. And realistically, he's lost his last 3 fights in the UFC. His next one will be his last. He will be out of the UFC. I do not think he gets a win. Fuck this dude. I hate him. Next on the prelims, Tahir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maxim. Very impressive performance from Azat Maxim. Tahir Ulanbekov wins 30-27 and 29-28 on one-person scorecard. I would have gave 29-28 to Tahir. Arguably, you could have given 29-28 to Azat. This is probably one of the closest fights you could come to a robbery on this card. I really felt like Azat Maxim had... realistically, round 1 in the bag, or was it round 1 or round 2? I thought it was round 1, but I was pretty sure Azat won round 1. I thought Tahir Ulanbekov couldn't get the takedowns. I thought he was getting popped with better clean shots, and I thought Azat Maxim made quite a statement in the first round, leaving Tahir Ulanbekov with a lot of questions to answer in rounds 2 and 3. Granted, they didn't give Azat those rounds. They gave it majority to 30-27 to Tahir Ulanbekov, which I didn't agree with. I thought they robbed him of a plus 3.5 spread if you were betting on the underdog. I thought Tahir Ulanbekov just looked a little bit less impressive than usual. Azat refused to get taken down easily. Very, very good base. Very wide hips. Very, very solid takedown defense. And just proved that he is a little bit better than most of the guys at flyweight. He deserves to be in that top 15 ranking. He deserves to have that ranking next to his name. And he's not a guy who's going to back down from, really good competition. And I think this fight proved that Azat has what it takes to be inside of that top 15. I think he proved that this is where he wants to be. I think this is being a guy that has not realistically gotten a solid win in the UFC yet, coming from Octagon. I feel like he proved himself. I feel like this is a very good proving fight, and I feel like they're going to give him a little bit easier of a test next time around, and I think they can get him a decent fight. At flyweight, who do we have, right? Like, if we really take a look at it, oh, no, actually, you know what we can do here? Can't we just do flyweight rankings? Like, if I go here, Azat, and I go, like, let's just see. Is there anyone else at flyweight? That's fucking women. Alexander Pantoja. There you go. There. So if we go here, we see Amir Albazi. Now come on. Alex Perez. Azat could definitely beat Alex Perez. Ramazan Tamirov. Decision. Charles Johnson. TKO of CJ Vergara. could be interesting. Bruno Silva, he would definitely be Bruno Silva. And there you go. That's your top 15 spot. That's your number 15 spot. All you have to do, realistically, is beat Bruno Silva. There is not a fucking world that lives on Earth where Azat Maxim loses to Bruno Silva. So, granted, you could give him a number 15 spot in the UFC. He could be a higher level fighter. They haven't given him that spot yet. They haven't given him his due. And I think next time around, Azat gets that ranking. But for now, Taira Umbekov with a decent win. Wins rounds 2 and 3 confidently on the scorecards. I don't know about confidently for him. I mean, he felt confident. Even Habib and fucking Islam were having a heart attack after the fight. They had no idea who the fight was going to. And even when they heard 30-27, they didn't know who it went to. Fantastic fight. Good victory for Tier. I don't know. Opened up a lot of holes in his game, it felt like. It felt like Azat really exposed him and just showed that if you don't have the takedown defense, Tayir's going to roll over you, but Tayir still has some solid-ass boxing. Next on the prelims, Claudia Segula versus Irina, the Russian Ronda, or Irina Alexieva. This girl literally looked like Ronda. It was pretty cool, I'm not going to lie. I really did feel like Irina was going to come out here and just maul the shit out of Claudia. It felt like it was one of those situations where Claudia doesn't have a whole lot of grappling experience. She doesn't have a whole lot of wrestling experience. This is kind of just a free win for Irina. Melissa Mullins took her down multiple times in her UFC debut and just kind of mauled the shit out of her. Won by ground and pound in the second round very early. And it was clear that the path to victory for Irina is to take Segula down and submit her. Irina chose to have a kickboxing fight with Claudia. Why? I don't know. I don't know why you would choose to have a kickboxing fight with a kickboxer. But sure, I guess if that's what you want to do, and you want to look like an absolute fucking goof in front of a bunch of fans, sure, go ahead. Alexieva looked like dog shit. She looked absolutely terrible. Could not get anything started. That is her second loss inside of the UFC after her win against Stephanie Edgar with a knee bar. She did miss weight in that fight, I do believe. Yeah, she got 140 pounds. She is fat as fuck. This girl can't make weight. She can't fall on top of a diet. She can't fight. She can't throw hands. She can't do shit. This girl throws one punch, walks forward, gets punched by 4 punches, throws another punch, walks forward, gets pelted by 5 more, throws one punch, and then thinks she's doing something and winning rounds. Alexieva looked terrible. Should have shot the takedown. Should have forced Segula up to the cage. Should have showed maybe some clinch work instead of forcing a takedown or attempting a takedown in the third round when it's too late. And there's no point. What are you throwing the takedown for? You already lost the first 2 rounds. You need to finish. You might as well go out there and try and rock her with something and then put her down. And even when she did rock her with something, she just stopped fucking moving forward. And I don't know why. I don't know why it is that these girls just don't move forward and go for literally what they're known for. Like, again, another fighter who has really good wrestling. Like, solid, like, perfect judo. Really good wrestling. Could take down most girls in the UFC. What do? We choose to have a fucking kickboxing match, which makes literally no sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You can't... Oh, my God. You can't let this happen. You're fighting Claudia Segula, who's literally terrible. Like, she's terrible. And clearly, Irina Alexieva is just a little bit worse. She loses a unanimous decision. Not even close. Next on the prelims, Daria Zheleznyakova versus Melissa Mullins. Now, this should have been a no-brainer. Melissa Mullins by KO or submission should have been your pick. It should have been everyone's pick. We were looking for Melissa Mullins to have another good victory against Daria Zheleznyakova after the last bout around. Now, granted, this fight started exactly how their last fight started. Daria Zheleznyakova just a little bit better on the boxing, a little bit longer. It feels like, even though the reach are the same, it feels like she's a little bit longer with the jab and stuff. And you have Zheleznyakova just piece up Mullins really early, hurt her pretty bad. Melissa Mullins couldn't get a takedown going whatsoever. She didn't really shoot for them. She tried to have a kickboxing match again with Daria Zheleznyakova. I don't know why we're having a kickboxing match again with a girl that we just defeated with wrestling. I don't know why we're not shooting takedowns on a girl who doesn't know how to wrestle properly. A girl who just got choked out by Eileen Perez in the first round because she is absolute dog shit wrestling and can't do anything against the cage. Melissa Mullins chooses to stand at range and get pelted. Good for you. This is another indicator that women's MMA is on a fucking downfall. I was literally excited about these fights. These 2 fights specifically were the 2 prospects I was excited for in the UFC in the women's division. In the bantamweight division, these 2 women were some of the best grapplers I had seen coming up, and I was excited to see what they were going to do with ground and pound against bigger girls like Daria and fucking Claudia. And what do you get instead? You get Melissa Mullins Not throwing a takedown again. She couldn't get one. Like, I don't think she had one. If I look up Mullins versus Zheleznyakova, I don't know if that's even the fucking... Let's see. 0. Oh my. She got 3 out of 6 takedowns. Had 2.5 minutes of control time. She got outlanded in every single round by almost double. Except for the third round, where the attempted strikes were outputted almost double. Jesus Christ, dude. She got pelted. Daria landed 100 out of 220 at distance. Melissa landed 60. What the fuck are we doing? We should be shooting those takedowns in early, girl. Early. 100% takedown defense in the second round. She got 40 seconds of control time in round 1 and a minute of control time in round 3 with takedowns. That is terrible. You could not control a girl that Eileen Perez basically sat her fat ass upon. And Eileen literally sat her fat ass upon her. And Daria looked like she was a fish out of water. She looked like she had no fucking idea what to do, and Melissa Mullins couldn't even get her down. I'm just mad. I'm going to move on, because this is just a dumb fight. I'm going to keep repeating shit. Fuck Melissa Mullins. Daria Zheleznyakova wins. A lucky fucking fight. She should not have won that fight, but it is what it is. Next on the prelims, we have Jung Young Park, the Iron Turtle, versus Ismail Nurdeev. Nurdeev was piecing Jung Young Park up early. Very bad. Nurdeev gassed. He gassed. He had Park really fucking hurt in that first round. Park is one of those guys. He's nicknamed the Iron Turtle for a reason. This guy holds damage really well. He doesn't really give an indicator that he's hurt. He doesn't really give an indicator that he's falling apart neither. He will keep walking forward until he literally falls down. And that's cool with me. I like that from Jung Young Park. That's a guy who's fucking game, who's always ready for the worst of it, and is just willing to try and crawl out of hell if it means he can get a win. And now that he did exactly that against Ismail Nurdeev, Ismail Nurdeev landed everything in the first round. Everything. He was fucking pelting Jung Young Park apart. Come to that second round, he did kind of the same thing, but you felt a noticeable shift in momentum. You felt a noticeable shift in the way Nurdeev was moving. You felt a noticeable shift in the pop of the shots, and Jung Young Park started just landing some good, clean shots whenever he was stepping in, and Ismail Nurdeev was just kind of starting to fall apart. He was starting to get tagged with some really good shots. Jung Young Park trying to mix it up with the takedowns, trying to give Ismail Nurdeev everything to think about in their fight, and you have Nurdeev who's just unable to get that second win inside the UFC. He really tried his best. He really tried to see what he could do. And granted, there wasn't a whole lot he could do. He was just kind of fighting the better fighter. And then you lead into the second round where he gets dropped. And then Jung Young Park is also down on the cage. He's got one knee down because Ismail Nurdeev is starting to tag him. And he throws a fucking knee up the middle. Okay? Nurdeev throws a knee while Jung Young Park has one knee down. Cuts his eye open. Ismail does the Anderson Silva, jumps up on the cage when he thinks it's done, starts celebrating. All the adrenaline dump happens, and Jung Young Park's sitting there with his eye completely fucking busted. He can't see out of it right now. The left eye is completely cut open, and he's pissing blood out of it. And Ismail Nurdeev thinks he wins. He stops. He goes over to the ref. He's like, I thought it was over. And they're like, no, knee. He's like, yeah, his knee was down. What's the problem? He's like, yeah, his knee was down. What do you mean? And Nurdeev, gets deducted 2 points instead of the fight being ended, which, in my opinion, that fight should have been fucking done. 100% that fight should have been done. No way should that fight have continued. Park's eye looked terrible, and they gave Nurdeev a chance. Good for you. It was a 10-7 in the second round and a 10-8 in the third round for Park. In my opinion, he beat the fuck out of Nurdeev in that third round. That fight should have been stopped at least 3 different times. Ismail Nurdeev goes on to lose another fight. He did beat Bruno Silva in his UFC debut. It's Bruno Silva, who's gun-shy and is not going to be in the UFC much longer on a massive loss streak. Jung Young Park, the Iron Turtle, gets another good victory on his roster. He's going to keep moving forward, dude. This guy's insane, insanely durable, and a very fun fighter to watch. I want to see Jung Young Park fight maybe someone a little bit better at 185. Maybe start going into the top 20s, top 25s. Instead of fighting, fucking Dennis Tululin and Brad Tavares, okay? Maybe fight some better opposition. Next, we have the featured bout of the evening, which was Suk-Young Ko versus Obon Elliott. Obon Elliott was set to come into this fight. The Cage Warriors demon, and he was set to come in here and just kind of style on Suk-Young Ko, who is, a little bit overrated in the striking department, in my opinion. And you have Oban Elliott, who is set to come out, and he just does everything opposite. Suk Young Ko is faster. He's ahead. He's 2 steps ahead. He knows where to go. He knows Oban Elliott's game plan. He knows where he wants to be. And Oban lost rounds 1, 2, and 3. Oban Elliott did not win the round. He didn't. Oban Elliott did not stand a chance. Suk Young Ko looked really fucking good. This dude looked solid. He beats Igor Cavalcanti, who was an undefeated Brazilian prospect coming out of Rio Grande. Dude, this guy's nicknamed Jacare. This guy literally is knocking out everyone in the regional scene, mauling people, just absolute fucking demon. And Suk Young Ko made quick work of him, won a decision, goes to fight Oban Elliott, who's another scary finisher, finishes him, decisions him. Just knows how to fight. Unfortunately, this is not a fight I paid super close attention to because it was just starting to get one-sided and I started to lose interest. This is a fantastic fight for Suk Young Ko. This really showed that he deserves to be in the UFC when a lot of people were thinking this week that he was just a fucking fish in water. Realistically, Oban Elliott was supposed to be a shark here. He was supposed to come out and maul Suk Young Ko. He was supposed to take him down early and see what he could do. Suk Young Ko reversed him twice, got him down, worked him, controlled him, got everything that he needed to get. Suk Ko versus Oban Elliott stats. If I go to the stats page right now, okay, look at the takedowns. Look at the takedowns. 6 out of 9 takedowns. 6 out of 9. He got 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. This guy is fucking gorgeous. He had almost 4 minutes and 20 seconds of control time in both rounds 2 and 3. That is some superb wrestling. That is some superb jiu-jitsu. That is some superb knowledge of how to be on the ground. Suk Young Ko is not just a grappler, a striker. He is a grappler. He has everything. He has the true arsenal to come into the UFC and make a fucking problem at 170. Out of South Korea, probably one of the best prospects in the UFC. Take a look at Suk Young Ko. He came out, man. His fucking fellow countryman got his ass whooped, got fouled, got his eye poked out, all that shit. Suk Young Ko came out and made quick work of Oban Elliott. Very, very nice to see. A solid performance from a fucking prospect, because you're getting a lot of prospects right now that don't look like that. Next, on starting off the main card of the evening. Wow, we got a 6-fight main card to look at. Let's just get through this quick because I am literally starting to drip sweat everywhere. I am losing my mind. Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdan Grad. Bogdan Grad did win round 2. I felt like he performed a little bit better than Naimov. Naimov was striking quite well in rounds 1 and 3. He's starting to fall apart a little bit in round 2. Muhammad Naimov was able to get the win over the newly anointed dad, Bogdan Grad, who just had a baby girl 2 weeks, I think, before the fight happened. Very, very good win for Muhammad Naimov. This is a guy who is a little bit more impressive on the scene than most guys. Bogdan Grad is a very, very crazy finisher. He's been a guy who's been down, the first round many times before and just comes back with absolute vengeance and just wins. Let's see, Bogdan Grad versus Muhammad Naimov. I'm sorry, what? They gave him round 1? I can't even type right now. You guys can literally see it. I'm losing my mind here. You give him, round 2. That's what I thought. Yeah, you could have gave round. Honestly, you could have gave round 1 to Bogdan Grad. I'm not gonna lie. You really could have. The striking was just a little bit more on the Grad side in round 2. It was all over Bogdan Grad. I'm not gonna complain about it now. It is what it is. But Bogdan Grad did have a good showing. Just started getting a little bit tired when it came down to the stretch. I genuinely thought Naimov was gonna be the guy getting tired. I did not think Bogdan Grad would be the guy gassing out. I was wrong. Bogdan Grad still looked good, though. I thought he looked good. I thought his kickboxing looked solid. I thought maybe a little bit too much spinning shit, which, granted, that does happen. But you have Bogdan Grad, who, he wants to try that weird striking. He wants to try that high-level Muay Thai, that kickboxing style where he just wants to throw everything at you and see if he can clip you. He did clip Muhammad with some good shots, but it wasn't enough to start anything drastic, and it wasn't enough to, sway the looks of the judges, really. It was a low-output fight. I would have liked to see maybe Bogdan Grad, rush a little bit more forward, maybe try and take Naimov out in the third round where he could clearly feel. I know he felt he was down. There's no way you didn't feel you were down because you started getting grappled and you couldn't get up. That's a problem. It's unfortunate But Muhammad Naimov wins after losing to Felipe Lima by submission last year. We gets a win over Con Ofley, and now a win over a decent prospect in Bogdangrad. Keep a lookout for Bogdangrad, though. He will be back. He will be a problem. This guy's got wicked striking and wicked power. You do not want to miss it. Next on the main card, Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mota, and Nicholas Mota almost fucking ended it. Mota almost ended it in the first round. Landed a 75-punch combination after he winded Nazim Sadikov. He landed a nice shot to the liver or the body of Nazim Sadikov. Completely blew the wind out of Sadikov. He could not breathe properly. You could see it. He was trying to catch his breath. He covers up, and Nicholas Mota just starts raining down hellfire. And at the end of around 72 or 73 punches, you could see Nicholas Mota's arms start to give out, and Nazim Sadikov lands a nice left hand and then starts his own chain reaction immediately after. Nicholas Mota really could have put Sadikov down. I think he should have been a little bit more technical with the strikes. I think when you have a guy like Nazim Sadikov on the ropes, you do not want to punch yourself out because you have a guy who's going to come back with a fucking vengeance if he gets out of it. If he gets out of that, he will walk forward and because he won't care. I've seen it before with Nazim Sadikov. I think it was the fight against, no, it wasn't Bond. Well, Bonfim was hurt. Yeah, Vyacheslav Borshev. Listen, when he hurts you, he will come back. He will walk you down. He will see what the fuck is up. And Nazim Sadikov is not a guy who is afraid of a brawl. He's not afraid of getting punched. He's not afraid of being hurt. He wants to get knocked out. This dude wants to have a fucking brawl. He wants to see what you're tested with, and he wants to see if he can knock you out. Nicholas Mota went into that test. Nicholas Mota failed. Came out to the second round. Nicholas Mota walked into a step and elbow, cut his whole fucking forehead open, and that kind of led it into a chain reaction of events. You have him, clearly his nose is not proper. It's busted up a little bit. Not like a completely different angle, but he was having a hard time breathing. You could see his mouth wide open, which Nicholas Mota is not a guy who lacks cardio. He is a guy that usually likes to run it. He can run it 3 rounds if he needs to. He had that fight against Mahashante Hasir. He did look a little bit gassed in the 3rd round, but in this fight, round 2, Nicholas Mota looked like he was done. Granted, he did throw about 75 punches in one combination against Nazim Sadikov in the 1st round, but you come into that 2nd round, you hope a little bit more cardio is on the side of Nicholas Mota. It's not. You have Nazim Sadikov back him up against the cage. He's very fucking hurt. Nicholas Mota eats a left hook and then a right, and he goes down. Still on it, doing a squat position, but eats 2 uppercuts. He's clearly out. And that is it. Nicholas Mota wins Nazim Sadikov wins via knockout round 2. Not too bad. Over 1.5 rounds did hit at a -130. We did feel like Nicholas Mota was going to be a little bit more durable than most of the fighters that Nazim Sadikov has faced. He was. Pushed it into the 2nd round. Nazim Sadikov is going to be a guy who gets round 2 or 3 knockouts. He doesn't have a whole lot of round 1 potential. He likes to take his time. He likes to see what his opponent, does. So look for that in the future. But Nicholas Mota, he didn't look too bad. I'm not going to lie. He didn't look too bad before he got knocked out. It was an insane knockout. It's unfortunate because Nicholas Mota is one of those guys that is actually really good. He has really, really strong power, and most of the guys that he fights, he can knock out. It's just whether he's going to get it or not. Nazim Sadikov adds another finish onto his record and now has only 1 win by submission still on his record, and that is the unanimous decision against Elijah Harris back in CFFC 81. Now, we're going to move on next on the main card, which was Metatek Orobay versus Tofik Mustayev. Now, one of the picks of the week was Orobay by submission, plus 400. Tofik is just a guy coming from Risen, not very good, coming from Bellator. When you're losing to Bellator guys by knockout and you're losing to Risen guys by chokeout, you're not going to beat the UFC guys. The UFC guys are better than all. This is literally like an NBA player going to fucking shoot around at Movadi. He's going to win. He's obviously going to win. And Orobay is just... It's so clear Orobay is ahead of Tofik in the grappling department and just everywhere. It's not even funny. You just watch the tape. If you watch the tape, Tofik is slower. Even though he's a blitz fighter, he's slower in the first rounds than Orobay. He has lack of takedown defense. Orobay will take you down. This dude's a fucking lawyer. He has fight IQ. He will get you down. And Orobay is just years ahead of the jiu-jitsu. Tofik is a guy who looks for the explosion. He looks for the knockout. You are not going to get that on Orobay. Orobay survived Rebecki. He literally survived Mateus Rebecki. If you're surviving Mateus Rebecki, you're surviving most of it. He's the same guy that took out Elfsbrenner, same guy that took out Uros Medic. Orobay is a fucking problem. And when you have Tofik Musayev making his UFC debut, and you have only a plus 130 tag on him, fucking smash the favorite. Otabay should have been a way bigger favorite. He should have been a minus 230. That submission tag is a fucking joke. Plus 400 for a submission was a joke. That was so easy to pick. Tawfiq, he just doesn't have it, man. He has it to be in the UFC. He doesn't have it to be top level caliber. He's never going to be champion level status. He just won't. He just doesn't have you have the explosivity to beat the cans in the UFC at 160, what, 165, 155. Holy fuck, we're supposed to be at 155, guys. What are we doing here? Jesus Christ, we're trying to cut weight here, man. These are fucking insane. If Tawfiq made it down to 155, no chance. There's no chance. I don't see a world where Tawfiq actually wins the belt at 155 or even gets close. The top 10 is such a fucking problem. Okay, we're moving this towards me. Oh, the fan's now on me. Holy shit, we're dying over here. Otabay with a really good Kimura victory. Satches it up. It's so obvious he's going to get it. Tawfiq is so deep in it. He was already screaming as soon as Otabay started to put it in. It wasn't even fully in yet, and he was bitching. Tawfiq loses by submission. That one was easy to see coming. Next on the main card, Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kunyev, and Rizvan Kunyev got robbed, in my opinion. Plus 3.5 would have hit. I had plus 3.5 for Rizvan Kunyev. Curtis Blades looked like dog shit, man. He really did. He won that first round, maybe. Maybe he won that first round. I thought he lost the second and third round. He said he blew out his MCL in the first round, didn't have anything left. Yeah, probably, because he looked like shit. Curtis did not look the same. He did not look explosive. He did not look like he was going to go shoot for a takedown. He did not look like he was going for a knockout. He literally looked like he was fighting to survive that round 2 and 3. He looked gassed. He looked uncomfortable. He looked like he did not have anything left. Really, he didn't. And Rizvan Kunyev arguably should have won that fight. Really good boxing from Rizvan Kunyev. Didn't allow any of the dirty shit from Blades where he likes to clinch and likes to force some stuff against you. Which, realistically, he probably could have been able to do if he didn't blow out his MCL or whatever it is. It was an okay fight, though, I guess. I guess if we look at the stats, Curtis Blades 101 significant strikes versus Rizvan Kunyev's 58. I thought, wait, what? Round 3? 61 of 68. Did he have a takedown? He had control. Am I missing something here? He had 61 significant strikes. Oh, no, significant 28. Yeah, see, Curtis had less. Okay, you know what? I guess you could have given it to Curtis. I don't... Wait, hold on. Let me see something. Blades versus Kunyev. Let me see something. Let me see this. Yeah, see, they gave round 3. Yeah, more damage came from Kunyev. That makes sense. I mean, I thought the more damage came from Kunyev too, but you can't bitch about it now. We're fucking two days past it at this point. 3 days past it. Rizvan Kunyev still. He's going to be a problem at heavyweight. He has the mix-up capability. Just should have forced a little bit more pressure on Blades instead of sitting back in rounds 2. I thought he maybe could have got Blades out of there. Blades did not look okay. He did not look like he wanted to be there anymore either. He really did look hurt, and I think Kunyev could have taken advantage. I think he didn't because he was a little bit gassed. You know, he's 265. What do you want from the guy? He's fucking huge. But Kunyev is also a guy who has a win over Renan Ferreira, but he tested positive for roids, so I'm not shocked that he comes into the UFC in his first bout and he looks insane. I bet you Rizvan Kunyev comes into a next fight in the UFC and looks like dog shit. Those HGH and shit will wear off. Even though he's not taking it anymore, the cycles will pass. You will not be the same in your next fight. Next, we have the co-main event of the evening. If you guys did enjoy this so far, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. We have Rafael Fiziev versus Ignacio Bahamondes, and Rafael Fiziev owned him. He owned him. He really did own him. Rafael Fiziev looked beautiful. This guy won 30-27, which I did not think was realistic. I thought he won maybe 29-28, but it is what it is. I guess you can give the win to the guy. You have really good striking from Fiziev, really good boxing. The takedown defense wasn't needed. There wasn't a whole lot of fucking takedowns getting thrown in the mix. You have Bahamondes, who was trying to get... Actually, Rafael Fiziev landed a couple takedowns. I forgot about that. He landed 4 takedowns. That wasn't late in the fight, though, no? Yeah, it was rounds 2 and 3. You have Bahamondes, who was just trying to... He was trying to crawl back in the striking department. It was very clear he was behind. Rafael Fiziev just a little bit slicker when it comes to the Muay Thai. You know, having been fighting out of Thailand for the last, 4 or 5 years, he's a guy who's basically a Thai at heart. He has very, very good Thai boxing. The slickness of the dodging of all the kicks and stuff. Bahamondes was throwing spinning kicks, was throwing axe kicks, was throwing a bunch of shit, and he was just dodging at all of it. Fiziev is just very, very, very strike defense oriented. Likes to see what's going on, likes to counterpunch when it comes down to it, and he was landing the cleaner blows, he was landing the cleaner shots. Ignacio Bahamondes did not use his range, I thought, effectively against Fiziev. Fiziev was able to get in the mix, throw those wicked body shots that he loves to throw, and he was hurting Ignacio in that first round. He had him hurt in that second round. He was ripping to the body. Ignacio looked like he was moving a little bit weird for a second. Ignacio's a guy who can show a lot of grit. That guy never shows that he's hurt. You can see it in his step. When he steps a little bit weird, he kind of like, he moves his arms a little bit, and he rubbed his arm against his side, and that's how I know he's hurt, because he's trying to rub it out. He's trying to like get his, legs back. He's like jumping around and stuff. Bahamondes get cracked a couple times. With those takedowns in the second round, he knew he was behind. Come down to the third round, even if it's 29-28 at that point, you're behind. You get taken down again. You can't really get up. You're trying to push on the hips. You get stuck in a position where Rafael Fiziev can just sit there, hold you down, and beat the fuck out of you with ground and pound. He was 6 inches or 8 or 7 inches shorter, and still able to get in the pocket, still able to mix it up, and still able to give Ignacio Bahamondes a problem. Props to Rafael Fiziev. It's unfortunate because I had Bahamondes, but good for you. Fiziev gets another win on his list after having a bit of a loss streak, losing to Gaethje twice. Arguably, almost won that other Gaethje fight. Just had a bit of a problem when it came down to the uppercut, got dropped, and that is what caused the problems. Good win for Fiziev, though. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he got to do that in front of his hometown crowd. Now, next, main event of the evening. We are not going to talk about this because there was not much going on. There was very, very lack of striking. But we had Jamahall, Sweet Dreams Hell versus Khalil Rountree Jr. And I felt like Khalil was going to go out here and beat the fuck out of Jamahall. He was clearly the better striker when it came down to the Pereira fight. A little bit quicker, a little bit better Muay Thai. Jamahall is a guy who likes to box and just kind of run in forward. He has shitty footwork. He always crosses his legs. He never looks that good. Really, he never looks that good. He's just a brawler. He's just a guy that got into the UFC because the light heavyweight talent pool is fucking shit. I'm being honest. The only reason why he's in the UFC is because the light heavyweight pool is shit. If this was middleweight, Jamahall Hill would not exist. He beat Jimmy Crute, who's dog shit, quit the UFC and came back because of God, and then fucking lost again to Hidalgo Balato. Absolute fucking joke. You have Johnny Walker. Chinny. Been chinny his whole fucking career. Johnny Walker has more knockouts than anything else on his loss record. He has 6 knockouts. And he has, 4 of those before the UFC or something? 3 of them? 3 of them before the UFC. Good job. You also have Thiago Santos. Busted fucking knees from John Jones. Great. Glover Teixeira. How old was Glover in that fight? Oh, yes. 43 years old, and he was the fucking favorite. He was the favorite by popularity contest. Favorite! 63% of people picked him on Tapology to win. That's how shit Jamahall Hill is. He has no jiu-jitsu, and he has such bad striking that they thought a 43-year-old man was going to whop over fucking Jamahall. That's how bad he is. Really, that's how bad he is. He loses to Alex Pereira because he doesn't know how to strike properly. He loses to Yuri, even though he tagged Yuri early because Yuri does unorthodox stuff and just walks in and fucking does it. Yuri knocks out everyone, okay? And I knew Yuri was going to get him eventually with his unorthodox shit. Jamahall landed a couple nice shots in the first round. That was it. That was it. You have a jab fest. This is not the Jab FC. This is the mixed martial arts. This is UFC, Ultimate Fighting Championship. Jamahall is a fucking joke. This guy doesn't have the capability to be champion anymore. Khalil Rountree Jr. has more mix-up capability than Jamahall Hill. And the reason for that is the kicks. Jamahall can barely kick. This guy's sitting on his front foot the whole time. He's on that left foot the whole time. He got it chewed his right foot. He got it chewed the fuck out by Khalil. And as soon as he got it chewed out, he switched stance and looked like dog shit. Looked terrible. Looked like he'd never fought anywhere before. His jab was terrible. He started to cross his legs every single fucking combination. Every single time he got hit, he started to cross his legs. The leg kicks were starting to just fucking out. He was limping on one leg. The calf was double the size on one leg than the other. He doesn't know how to check kicks. He doesn't know how to wrestle properly. He doesn't know how to do jiu-jitsu. He doesn't know how to mix up Muay Thai. He doesn't know how to do kickboxing. He doesn't know how to do fucking karate kicks. He doesn't know how to have a proper stance. He doesn't know how to fucking switch stance. There is so many problems with Jamahall Hill. If I am listing those, I'm at 8. And I haven't even really thought about this. I'm barely thinking about this, and I have 8 things that are problems with Jamahall Hill. That is a fucking red flag. That is a huge red flag. That indicates Jamahall Hill is such a fucking bum. He will only beat from top 15 to top 10. That's it. You will never beat the top 10 again because he doesn't have the ability to be on that level. He's just not on that level. He really isn't. Jamahall is a guy who talks so much shit and people have so much faith in him because of how much shit he talks. He always turns up dog shit. Always. It's not like he has an impressive performance. It's not like the Thiago Santos fucking grind and pound knockout was something crazy. He should have put Thiago out fucking round 2. Thiago has no knee. This guy has no knees. This guy lost his knees in 2019 from John Jones oblique kicking him. He's had multiple surgeries on both knees. He can't walk. He lost against Yoel Romero in 2024 because he can't fucking move. This guy is dog shit. Jamahall is terrible. Khalil Rountree Jr. wins by decision. Wins a 5-round fight that he clearly could have knocked at Jamahall in if he was a little bit more aggressive, even though he didn't want to get into a brawl with Jamahall and get tagged, which is what you're supposed to do. If you're not dumb when you fight Jamahall, you win. If you just sit back and let this guy walk forward to you, you win. If you let him get frustrated in the fact that he has such shit boxing and kickboxing that he can't get to you and get you down and deal with you, that is his problem. That is your win. Take it all day. Jamahall, the biggest red flag about this guy, if you are a counterpuncher, you win. Know that when you go into the... If any of you are fighters and you're fighting Jamahall soon, wait. Just wait. This guy gets so fucking upset at the fact that people don't move forward against him, he will literally give you the win. Just wait. Jab him when he comes to you and move. This guy fucking sucks at movement, has no explosivity, and has always looked dog shit in the UFC. That's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have not already. This was the recap and breakdown of the recent UFC Fight Night in Baku, Azerbaijan. I guess that's what it's called. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys this week. I will come out with the UFC predictions and breakdowns for UFC 317, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for that lightweight vacant championship. We will come out with that later today. Hope you guys did enjoy this. I will talk to you guys all later. Have a fantastic night. Peace.